let's talk a little bit about common failures for assets and their failure patterns. I read one of the statistics that you more recently published as well, that 89% of failures are random and only 11% of failures are age related. Knowing that 89% of failures are random, what can we do as budding reliability leaders to get ahead of this problem?
Well, first thing is making sure the equipment is kept in a maintainable condition. If it's not in a maintainable condition, then it doesn't do any good. Just, and what I call an insanity, performing preventive maintenance on equipment that continues to fail. So best thing to do is you have equipment that continues to fail, performing preventive maintenance on it, put a big sticker on it, RTF, run to failure, and we know that's our maintenance strategy.
Okay.
So, but also how equipment is operated. Has a lot to do with those human-induced failures. 89% of failures, the random ones. Random ones, the best way to mitigate random, to mitigate them is PM, to actually identify them, because some you can't identify far enough in advance, some you can, is using predictive maintenance and condition monitoring. That's a big deal. A lot of people, I'd say 90% of companies, I'm giving a generic number, but I tell you it's very true. 90% of companies use PDM only for insurance reasons. So once a year or every 6 months, someone comes in and does some vibration, and does some infrared, and they're gone. That's not the way it works. Your assets need to be identified based on criticality and defect severity. And once you do that, then you go through that ranking and then determine which assets do I want to put PDM on and what interval. It always goes down to the lowest common denominator. Like an electric motor, what fails first in an electric motor? Bearings. So if bearings fail first, and we get an indication, and bearings fail randomly, SKF has proven that in all the studies, so when someone does vibration analysis and says, hey, we got a bearing fault on this outboard bearing on this 50 horsepower motor, first thing they ask is, how long do you think it'll run? I got no magic wand. They sold out of those a long time ago. I'd say what you need to do is you need to go ahead and plan it. You may not schedule it now because you can't interrupt production. Plan it, have a new motor waiting, ready to go, or rebuild shop ready to go whenever that is, the weekend or whatever, and we go in and replace it. And yes, it is still running, but it will fail randomly, I promise you. And it's not at the right time either.
It's never at the right time, huh?
Never the right time.